All right. I'm here with Josh Morimoto. I'm excited to introduce one of the newest members of our team. Josh is a very experienced real estate agent, been with many great companies over his career and over several states, and we'll hear a little bit more about that. But he's now on our Wake Realtors Loudoun County team. I'm excited about that. We have a lot in common, so I look forward to sharing a little bit more about Josh with you today. Does that sound good?
Right.
All right, Josh, let's start from the beginning. Tell me a little bit about where are you from and where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Hawaii. My grandfathers came to Hawaii working on the sugar plantations. My grandmothers were pitcher brides, and they came later. And so my parents were born in Hawaii, and I was also born in Hawaii. And I went to University of Hawaii, in the university there. And so after that, I entered the Army.
Go Bows! Look at that. So that's one of our first connection here. I'm from Hawaii as well. So um, we've talked and we're trying to see who we've connected with. I'm sure we're going to find someone that we're both connected to or know back home. So we're just starting that process. But um, when did you actually move away from Hawaii or move here to Northern Virginia?
Well, what happened was that my last tour of the Army, I was brought here by a colonel to run the largest computer and data network the Army had at that time, with five large regional data centers. Um, we covered the Army installations and then software design centers like in continental United States, Alaska, Hawaii, and at the time we had Panama. So what I was in charge of is helping to implement the system and also to oversee and run the five data centers.
Okay. Excellent. And so, how long has that been so far that you've actually been here in our general area? I guess the capital area.
I when I got out of service, I spent 14 years here in real estate. I went to Delaware for 10 years and then returned back to Northern Virginia.
Okay. Do you ever get back to Hawaii? How often? How often do you get back, or have you gone back recently?
I have not gone back really recently because all my children are here.
Okay.
And in fact, an interesting story is when I retired, I asked how many of my children and my wife wanted to go back to Hawaii. And obviously, you can see nobody did. So I'm here. If I did go back, I would have to be a geographic bachelor. So I chose to stay here instead.
Good choice there. Yeah, we're always trying to figure out when's the best time to head back. Obviously, my family's back there, and my wife's family's here. So we try to get back often for vacations. Maybe not often as we should, but yeah, definitely some good stuff there. So you've been in real estate for quite a while. Um, you mentioned you came out here for work, before real estate. What's that path look like? What did you do both in the service and career path before you jumped into real estate?
In the Army, being an officer, it's really a lot of jobs that train you to become a very good real estate agent. Okay, but for the instance of the first 10 years, I was really in kind of jobs like being a company commander, dealing with a lot of people problems, organizing things, supporting a brigade of a division. Um, then I went into the software side of the house for the Army, actually computers and networking. I went to Fort Lee and helped extend the largest logistics software to both cores in Germany and and the largest depot systems in Europe. So that got me a lot of computer and technology type experiences. And like I mentioned, I also worked as the deputy director of the largest Army computer system. And in doing that job, I had to go out and brief a lot of people on the new system. So I got to do some extensive large briefing of maybe 400 people and more. And then you got to solve a lot of system problems. Now, once I got out of the Army and got into real estate, because I had a lot of experiences in procurement and negotiating contracts with the contractors, I have that knowledge that can help you negotiate good deals And when you do competitive biddings, I win 90% of the bids, sometimes going against three or four other realtors at a time. So having the negotiating skills, the people skills, and the knowledge of how to sell real estate, I do a thorough job in helping you prepare your home for sale, get it sold quickly. And for the buyer side, I first interview you to find out what you really want, what your really needs are. And we go through that in detail. And then I do a lot of background work and find the right properties for you. I don't give you hundreds of listings. I give you what you want, sometimes 10, sometimes 20 listings, 30 depending. And also encourage a lot of you, go surf the web. I'll give you the websites where to go look for properties. So you can do a lot of work on your own time. And then you select the properties you want to visit. And just remember, realtors are the only people can access the homes with our electronic keys. So you got to come back to us. We have to set up an appointment for all the people so that the owners know when you're coming. And I take you around. I develop a tour for you. And I also have access to a lot of social media tools on my cell phone, and we can also look at homes on my cell phone.
Excellent. I love that. Little bonus there for buyers and sellers out there, a glimpse into the process. And I think you're exactly right. We some of the best real estate agents on our team that have that military background, or connections there. The discipline alone, the organization, the communication is something that I see that is definitely a great skill set, not just for the other agents with military background, but yourself so far in working with you. And I've seen reviews from your clients, and they obviously have enjoyed working with you. So I think as you grow your team moving forward, and that's what you're planning to do, obviously, is I think that will be a great, not just great draw, maybe an incentive for your clients to have that experience that you bring to the table. So that's exciting stuff. So um, why did you jump into real estate? What's the reasoning you actually got into real estate many years ago?
It's a very interesting story. My first wife started off with Mount Vernon, the predecessor of White, and she was an advertising person in the office. Her broker convinced her to become a real estate agent. So she got a bunch of listings, and then she turned to me and said, "Hey, I need somebody to do an open house for me." So she drafted me to become an agent, help her with the open houses, and help her do things. And it was a benefit for me too because I did start looking at properties. I've bought some single family homes and rented it out and got into property management side of the house. So I've got a wealth of experience of both selling and also maintaining houses also.
Excellent. So that you were kind of dragged into the business,
That's
not really
right.
knowing what you're getting into, maybe. You joined that team, and you've never looked back. You've been successful for so many years in several different areas. So you've been, like I said, throughout your career at several different companies, great companies, and we recently brought you onto our team, and I'm excited to have you on our team. But what's one of the reasons why you decided that now is the right time to make that move and join Waker Loudoun County?
Well, basically, I really want to help you out because that's why I'm adding a lot of social media things. So tools that you can get at and look at properties. I have Facebook Business. You and I can talk on Instagram. You and I can talk on LinkedIn. You can see my videos on YouTube. You have all these tools so that I'm trying to give you the right type of information so you can make a smart decision in buying the right home. And you will see that I'm a very people person and I listen to you and I do what you ask me to do. So I think a lot of you will appreciate that.
So one thing that really struck me when we first met, and you came up to me and kind of told me your story of what you want to do, um, I really connected with it because you're evolving in terms of you have so much experience, you have so much success in real estate up until this point, and very reminded me of what we're doing here at White Realtors. We've been a very successful company for a very long time, but this year we're doing something called the Weichert Evolution. Weichert Evolution, and what that is we're trying to continue that success, but we are evolving to add a lot more of the online, the social media, the branding, and I think that ties in exactly with what you are already planning to do. And since we've been on the team, I've seen such a huge kind of refocus of that. Still offering the great customer service that you've been doing, still working with clients and great networking and connections. But your brand that you've built, the social media platform, the online platform that has been helping your clients, I think is very impressive of what you've been able to do so far. Excellent. So, what's your so you're growing your team, and I
Hmm.
think you're going to have a very big team here very shortly. What's your team philosophy, or what's your business philosophy as you look to expand even bigger?
The biggest thing that myself and all the team members will do is that they focus on you. They focus on your need. They listen to you, and they try to. And we work together. When we, for example, list your home, it'll be 6 to 8 salespeople focusing on selling your home, so you know it's going to sell very quickly. We also try to help people, your friends, yourself, and others. I'm a veteran. That's why I've joined several veteran organizations and help a lot of veterans when they come back from wars. They need help to get started. I'm helping. I have several organizations that provide referrals for them so they can grow their business. And then, some of the guys are having problems financial and things like that. I have other organizations. I work with Loudoun County, especially. There's the representative there, VA, that he tries to coordinate all that. But I do support them and do a lot of work like that. So we try to help not veterans in the community, obviously, because they have done so much for our country. But we also try to help other people as well.
So I've noticed so far, the people that you've brought on or are bringing onto your team are veterans, or most of them have that veteran tie. Is that intentional? Is that just a connection that you found, or is that really your business plan or structure is to build the veteran-based real estate business, not just of who you're serving, but the values that you're bringing in from the agents as well?
If you have worked with a lot of veterans, the core philosophy in the military is dedication, be on time, be prompt, help people, especially people who are in a lot of the team members are NCOs and officers, and then we have their wives join the team also. So they bring the wives side of the house into the business, and the women's side. All of us respect women, and we try to help women, especially the younger ones. We teach them how to buy houses, how to maintain their houses, and both men and women, by the way. So the team has the veterans, especially, like I said, you can count on them to help you be there promptly and do things for you.
Excellent. I think that's a great philosophy. I think so far from what I've seen, I'm excited at what you've done with your team so far. And I think 2018 is going to be huge for your team. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. Let's step away from business for just a bit and tell me a little bit more about who's Josh as a person. When you're not an amazing agent, when you're not building your team, what do you do for fun? What are some of your hobbies?
Here's something interesting I want to let you know. Being from Hawaii, we do a lot of fishing and crabbing all the time. And obviously, in junior high school, I was a beach bum. We go down the beach on weekends, and four of us boys would fish, crab, snorkel, and just enjoy ourselves right in life. Did a lot of that. But obviously, when you go to college and when you get in the military, you cannot be a beach bum anymore. You have to relate with people and help people, and there's a role that you have to play. The other thing that I do is on my hobby time is really try to learn more about reading and especially social media. There's changing all the time. In real estate, we're doing a lot of automation, a lot of tools, analytical tools. We got tools here that can find areas that we want to farm, and when we select your area, we send you things like once a month, and we get to really know you. Come to our open houses. Come to meet me and my team at our open houses, and get to know us. And you'll see that You will be very comfortable meeting us. You tell us what you like. You can come see the other homes in the neighborhood. This is your chance. And so I welcome you to our open houses, and you'll get notices ahead of time when we're doing open houses, okay?
Makes sense. So, I had those same hobbies growing up as kids. Love going to the beach. Obviously, we don't have that advantage here. Beautiful area, but it's different. We don't have the ocean right there. So, and I've known you long enough now to really understand that this is not a job. This is your life, real estate. And when you mentioned your hobbies, open houses, and social media, that's I know that's what you're doing on your downtime as well. Which is impressive, and all that means is you're growing a bigger, better business that will be able to help your clients moving forward. If you were to travel your next trip or anywhere in the world, where would be your next vacation spot that you would head to?
We also, my wife and all, have a plan. We are going to take. We did a previous trip. My wife and one of my daughters and went back to Hawaii and Oahu, and I acted sort of like a tour guide, took them out to some very interesting places like Pearl Harbor. You all heard about that. There's Diamond Head. You can go on the rim and walk around, take very nice pictures of the entire area. And then I took them to Honolulu Bay and we did snorkel fishing. All
Nice.
these fishes, one of the few places fishes come to you because the expectation is that you're going to feed them. So all the fishes come to you, and it's really nice to see. My daughter saw some of these fishes, and she enjoyed that, and she told all the other kids about it. So now this next trip, we're going to take all the kids and grandkids that want to go, and everybody's excited. We'll probably do that in February of 2019, but they're all planning to come with us, and I'll be the tour guide. I've been asked to be a tour guide for a lot of people going to visit Hawaii, so I've been giving them the AAA guidebook and writing notes. Here's the best places to see. I've sent several of those people things out so that when people go to Hawaii, they can visit these places. So come talk to me about that, and I'll help you out.
Maybe go on a trip, visit, meet you out in Hawaii, right?
There you go.
So, have you been? You mentioned you playing tour guide, and I've done that a few times myself. I'm probably not as good of a tour guide as you are, but did you take anybody out to the Polynesian Culture Center?
Yes, in fact, both my wife and my daughter, they just loved it because you have all these different cultures, Fiji, Tahiti, and we visit each one of the centers. And if you ever get a chance to go to Hawaii, make that a step and stop there and learn about the different cultures. Uh, they have a Brigham Young University there. They bring all the youngsters who are going to be the future leaders of all these nations. So they get exposed to America. They get exposed to our values. They train them to become leaders. So when they graduate from college, they go back. Guess what? They become the nations of their leaders. And this is a great training ground. They get to earn money on a part-time basis and actually work on the villages. And then they have the night shows with throwing the torches up and sword dancing and singing, hula dancing. And it's just a great show they put on. So make a star. I'm going to go there when you go to Hawaii.
So reason I bring that up is I grew up very close to there. My family still lives out close to the Polynesian Culture Center. That was my summer job in high school. I
That's
had
right.
many
That's great.
roles there. Sometimes it's taking photos. I think my sister. I think she's still working there. She might be dancing there, but it's a great place for exactly what you mentioned. It's such a melting pot where you're connecting with people from Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, New Zealand, Tahiti, all the Polynesian islands brought to one area. And there's such diversity in the cultures, and you get to learn from, one day you get a summary of it. But when you live there and work there, it's a pretty special thing. So even though I've worked there, that's one of the things that I definitely go to every time that I'm back there. So I'm glad that you are able to participate in that. So there's so many more questions. Like I know we've talked. I've already learned new things about you just now that I didn't realize before. So I'm sure you all have questions as well. Josh is an amazing person, very interesting person, lots of stories, but more importantly, he has that experience on the real estate side of things. So if you're looking to buy or sell here in really Northern Virginia is
Right.
your main focus.
Right.
And obviously he has teams outside of the area. He's sold in other states as well, so he can help you on referring to his teams there. So if you have any questions, he's all over Facebook. He's all over social media. Message him on social media. He'd be happy to answer those questions, whether it's about real estate, whether it's about tour guides in Hawaii, whether it's about anything else. But I think that's about all the time we have for today, and I appreciate the time you took to share a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you
Josh,
very
thank you
much.
very much.
Okay.
All right, everybody, have a great day.